Hey guys, Boomfish TCG here, back at it again with another video. This time we're going to be taking a look at BP16 7-cost Dragon. A very good deck, powerhouse, not discounting it at all, it's very strong. But more importantly, it's a slow one. It's methodical, you do not play followers on the field for the majority of the game. You're simply resolving hand effects, which, it got a really large amount of support, which makes it quite the force to be reckoned with, though. Don't discount it at all. Expect this deck. Build for it. We have 1-drop Celestial Dragoon, which has, whenever you discard a card, tap and draw. I'm going to be honest, folks, I did not realize that. I thought this had a tap cycle effect where you draw discard, so that is quite strange. I wasn't expecting that at all. But when you evo it, it then takes a look at the top 5, and you grab a dragon card that costs 7 or more, add it, put the rest on the bottom. That's a standard effect, but that supports what your deck's trying to do. I still find it a bit strange that even on that effect you don't discard, so you can't really have the option of drawing. But I guess they want to give you the option of swinging with this card, right? It would be kind of weird if it automatically tapped itself. So, yeah, it's fine. Good card. Moving on, we have Draconic Call. This is a 2-mana quick. Take a look at the top 5 cards of your deck. From among them, you may reveal up to 2 dragon cost cards that cost 7 or more. Add it to your hand. 2 mana, draw 2, folks. Think about it. This is a list that performed well at one of the largest events of the format. I think it is the largest event of the Japanese format. And they're only playing 1 copy of 2 mana, draw 2. Sure, man. And you want to know why? Because it doesn't cost 7. It doesn't fit the condition of the overall effect of the deck, but it is a hand fixer. Sometimes you need this effect. I'm just really surprised it's only at 1. We also have Marion Ravishing Dragon Newt. So 2 mana, draw, discard. Alright, that's fine. Then you have the effect to tap, select something, deal it 4, and you can only activate it if you have 4 dragon cards in your cemetery that cost 7 or more. Interesting. It's a decent effect. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm a bit surprised to only see 1 of it, because that is naturally part of the deck, but I guess because you just need to fit so many 7 costs in your list, in order for the synergies to pop off, you just don't really need that much, but it's a fine card. It's okay. We have Gil. Covered this card like a million times. If you don't have your copies for this deck, I apologize. You're kind of cooked. Anywho, it's a 2 mana, 2/2. When your leader has 10 or less, it has drain, sure. And then when you evo, it's either going to give something +2 attack, -2. So that's the removal piece that this deck's probably going to pick most of the time. I'm going to be real. Because you have to get control of the game before you can actually start hoping for the deck to start carrying itself. And the token, which you might also pick. Who knows, maybe your turn 5s are pretty open in this deck. I can't quite tell you. But it's good. It's a good card. That's why you see 3 and 3. It's got the room in the Evo deck, so it really doesn't care about the fact that it's playing 3 of these. You then have Embodiment of Spear Tar, I guess. You might be surprised to see a Vanguard card in here, but they probably just need the removal. And 2 mana, 3/1, Rush Assail, pretty good. And then if you have Overflow, it also pings them in the face for 2. So late game, it's a burn piece that also removes very easily. I think this is a great option. And it really shows the creativity that you can throw in a deck that's as cookie cutter as this, because realistically you only have so much space, but it's just really high value because you're going to get to that late game, because that's just what this deck does, and when you do, you're going to be a happy man. So very good. We then have Dracomancer's Rite. So that's 3 mana, you discard a card, gain 1 life, sure. At the start of your end phase, if you discard a card this turn, select an enemy leader or follower on the field and deal it 2 damage. Interesting. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, it's discard 7-cost dragon. Discard dragon's been one of the most successful archetypes that the dragon craft has been able to take advantage of. Naturally, it's still going to be good. In the future, I know in Japan they limit this card, so there's a decent chance that this card's also going to get limited. But not for this format, ladies and gentlemen. And when they have multiple of this on the field, you're going to get hurt. Okay, it can be upwards of 6 damage per end phase, which is unlikely. The average number they might put on the field is 2. But in that situation, yeah, dude, you're still getting hit in the face for 4, or they're clearing your board. They have the option to gain a life if they really need it, but oftentimes they don't. It's just to trigger its first initial, yeah, this is pretty much, without this card, 7 cost would kind of suck ass. I'm going to be real. They don't have something like this. But it's a really good card. And you're going to hate yourself whenever you see this. It's going to be miserable, but it's good. Moving on. What is it? What is a slow, methodical dragon deck without at least a copy of Forte in there, folks? I hate this card with a burning passion, and Dragon's never going to let me forget that. I hate this stinking thing, bro. 4 mana, 5/1 Storm. Alright. And then when you Evo it, guess what it turns into, folks? That's right, a 7/3 Storm Aura. Yeah, they needed that. Yeah, it's really annoying. You might be a Control Haven player and you're like, ha ha ha, I can answer pretty much anything in the game. And then you get hit face in the 7 uninteractively. Yeah. No. And they just put this in the deck for 7 damage, right? Sometimes they're going to need that extra push. And I find that ridiculous. But, they get to do it. What am I to do? So, you might say, right? We went from 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there any in between? Nuh-uh. We're moving directly on to 7 costs. That's the name of the deck. It's 7 and greater that this deck really takes advantage of. So this is a 7 mana 5/6. If for some reason you were to play this, it summons a dragon token, which is a 5/5. So this becomes a 7 mana, I think that's 10-11 in stats total for 7 mana. Is pretty crazy, honestly. In the pinch, this is not a bad card to put on the field. But if this is discarded, you can pay 2 and summon a dragon token, which is, again, is a 5/5. 2 mana 5/5? I guess that's pretty good. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with this. At 1 copy, though, it's going to pop up every once in a while. Clearly, it's not the most useful thing. But yeah, it can definitely screw up your day. You then have Orbed Cancer. It's kind of interesting that a Marine card made its way in here, but 7 mana, 6/7, when you play it, draw 3. That's actually a pretty bad effect. If you ever actually have to play this card, chances are you're in a really bad spot. Drawing 3 cards isn't going to be bad for you, but let's be real. It's not saving you unless you're playing the mirror match, and then maybe you might actually have the space to make that work. So yeah, but it doesn't deal with anything on the board. You pay 1 mana, you discard this and a dragon card that costs 7 or more, which again is why you have to play so many. You draw 2 cards. Now we're talking. 1 mana, draw 2? Yeah, I guess that's pretty good. Yeah, it's a staple. You need that kind of effect. We then have Azure Flame Dragon Newt. So select an enemy follower, deal 6 damage. Cool. Then you can discard this and a dragon card that costs 7 or more. Select an enemy follower on the field and deal 4 damage. Alright, that's pretty nice. It also has an Evo, so let's take a look. Actually, you play 3 copies of that because it's a simple removal effect. Let me just double check myself here. Okay, yeah, they do not play the Evo for that effect. Interesting. I guess it sucks. I'll put it on the screen, but I guess that is pretty strange. It's so weird. This is it only costs 1, but I guess you really never care about summoning this. And even if you do, it's still not that bad. But it's really funny. Okay, yeah, whatever. So yeah, it's pretty decent. You have burnite. Alright. Yeah. Time to get to the problem card. Burnite is just, I don't know, man. Just an anime woman with too much power on her hands. This card's ridiculous. It's a 7 mana 5/5. Whoa now. Boomfish. Stats on this lady kind of stink. Yeah. Well, let's read. So it's a 7 mana 5/5. If you have 4 cards that cost 7 or more, it costs 2 less to play. So now it's a 5 mana 5/5. Wait a minute. That's Jerva's stats. Uh-oh. Discard a card, select an enemy follower, and deal damage equal to the discarded card's cost and draw a card. Wow. Isn't that fair? Lovely. Let's Evo it and see what happens. So now we have discard a card and select an enemy follower on the field, deal damage equal to its cost, and draw. That happens twice. That's kind of weird. Then if you super Evo it, you gain 5 life. Sure. So it's a simple removal, and then late game it can gain you life. That's nice, I guess. At the start of your end phase, if there's 7 cards in your cemetery that cost 7 or more, you deal 7 damage to each enemy leader. No. No, that's not okay. Yeah, because if you have that plus this amulet, lo and behold, yeah, you're probably hitting them in the face for 9, 11, 13. Lord, hey, forgive yourself. If somehow this sticks around, you're dead, bro. It's over. That's like 20 damage in a turn, dude. Like, you're dead. It's crazy, dude. Yeah, this card's ridiculous. You're gonna hate it every time you see it. And I just pray you have enough healing to make your way out of these situations. But God, does this make it a boring game plan. My goodness. I'd play against Abyss every day if I didn't have to play this. Moving on, we then have another new card. So Zahar Stormwave Dragoon. So when this is discarded, you can take a look at the top 2 cards of your deck, reveal a dragon card that costs 7 or more, and add it without having to pay any mana for that. Interesting. That's pretty broken. Why? I guess you needed some way to recoup your costs, but that's still really, really good. That's ridiculous, man. So now, this card over here becomes 1 mana, draw 3 effectively. Yeah, okay, I guess that's pretty okay. Sure. And when you actually play them, take a look at the top 3 cards. You may summon a dragon follower and put the rest on the bottom. Yeah, okay. And no cost restriction, of course. I guess that's decent. Yeah. Maybe you whiff. Yeah, he's really good, man. 3 copies of this. Easy. It's the new Trail of Light for this deck, I guess. You then have, I guess this is number 11, Ernst Justice. So it's an 8 mana, 8/8. Put the top card into your EX. If you put a 5 cost or more in your EX, you could evolve this or return it to your hand. Okay, so you get the option of gaining some life. So 8 life is never small. You are paying 8 for this, so I don't know. That yeah, that would be a bit strange, but maybe it's enough. It evos, so you can't actually pay for the evo. It has to resolve its effect into an 11/11 storm that can attack followers while ignoring ward, or attack anything while ignoring ward. It just has that stats. So an 11/11. Interesting. Yeah, dude. That's the game. It does. Naturally, you're going to hit off of this more times than you aren't. So the later this game goes, the more likely you are to just delete your opponent from all of existence. So it really is quite something. This card's ridiculous. 2 of, because it doesn't have any discard synergy. It's just it just has synergy with the cost of your deck. It makes sense. Wildfire Tyrannosaurus. I'm going to be real. I like it. Okay. I don't like this because it's free. But I do like this. This is good design. And I appreciate Bushi for making a card like this. I like this. So when this card is discarded, it's an 8 mana 6/6. You can select an enemy follower on the field, deal 3 damage to it. This lets you spread the amount of damage you can do in a deck that's not usually supposed to be this flexible. You have to pay 1 mana, but 1 mana to deal 3 is good cost. It shouldn't be free. That makes sense. It definitely shouldn't be 2 either, because that just make this bad. And unfortunately, since this is an Natura deck, its on-field effect does nothing. So if you ever have to play this, good luck, man. Good luck to you. But you probably aren't going to have to, because you can cycle it out. So congrats, Bushi. Nice job. I also do like this card. So Pumpkin Dragon. So it's an 8 mana 6/6, similarly to the Wildfire Tyrannosaurus. But it's an 8 mana 6/6 ward. If you were to play it, you gain 5 life and draw 2, so that's not bad. It's actually quite good. So you're never mad about having to play this. I'm going to be real. It's just you have higher impact cards in your deck. And for 2 mana, you can discard this and a dragon card that costs 7 or more. Gain 5. Alright. Cost 2 because gaining 5 is crazy. Haven could only dream about that kind of a cost. I'm going to be real. 2 mana gain 5 is ridiculous. But I like it. Okay? I enjoy the fact that this is it's like just a good effect that you can use. I would probably be pissed if it said gain 5, draw 1. Because I think that would make it like super broken. But also this is a bronze. So outside of this Idex Identity, this card was kind of useless. So I like these like low rarity cards having purpose. And this being released in set 11, like they were thinking far ahead in order to make this deck viable even. So I do like this. This is quite nice. We then have Jerva. So when this is discarded, you may put it into your EX. It's a 9 mana 6/6 ward. When you play it, deal 9 to each other follower and each enemy leader. So in that instance, you're going to be dealing some face damage. This could very well end the game for 9 mana. That's not too hard to expect. For 3 mana, you can banish this card or bury this card from your EX. Select an enemy follower on the field. Deal 6 damage to it. You can only use this if there's overflow active, but not only is that realistic, I think that's fairly costed. 3 for 6. Yeah. We've had some options like Wasteland Sword can do 2 mana and deal 6. And it burns them in the face. Thank God this doesn't have any face damage associated with that effect, because yeah, dude, this would be broken. Perfectly fine card. I enjoy the fact that they made this. Fracture. Deck goes late. Goes up against an aggro deck. Chances are they're going to be running through more cards in their deck. Yeah, Fracture is pretty likely. We then have Dragon Devouring Dread. Interesting. Looks like a dog. Weird. That's really hard to get a visual on. It's very strange. Huh. Alright, so 9 mana for a dog. It's Cutthroat. What the heck? For each dragon follower that costs 7 or less, or 7 or more, you can select an enemy follower on the field and banish it. So it's a board clear that banishes. Okay. You can discard this and a dragon follower that costs 7 or more. Gain a maximum play point and draw. Okay, so do I have something to complain about here? No. 3 mana is fair. Yeah, it's fair. Because with the added flexibility of this card being super useful in the late game, is banishing, definitely good. 3 mana attached to this maximum play point gaining effect, and then also the fact that it draws you a card, fine. I'm okay with this card. Yeah. Yeah, I can't really be too mad. So what this deck is, and what it boils down to, is just a really strong, slow deck that has a good end game, a very strong burn condition, and definitely hinges on the fact that if you establish this early, the game's definitely going to go well in your favor. I think aggro is the main option to try and counter a deck like this, but it's definitely has the tools to try and get there. The deck didn't perform awfully in this format. It's naturally a strong deck. It's just an option, or probably the main option, to try and beat a deck like this. Burnite is a frustrating card. Yeah. But honestly, this out of anything really just infuriates me of how good something like this is. Just a trail of light that also in the late game has like a flexible effect like this. I'm glad it's 4/4, but you know, I had to pick something. Give this a 5 out of 5 boomfish. So 5 boomfish out of 5. Naturally, it's a very strong deck. Naturally, it's going to be a strong contender. Expect this. Expect to prepare for this. And I'll catch you next time.
Congratulations.